Hey guys, welcome back to another clip of Schach-manuel-lernen. Today with the third round of this year's winter season. I had the black pieces and my opponent opened with d4, g6, knight f3, and after bishop to g7 he played knight to d2, which surprised me a bit because I never saw this move before actually. And I guess the plan was to play e4 later, but he also could have played without this knight, and that's why I decided just to play d6. And then he played e4, knight to d7, c3, and now I thought it's the right moment to attack the center with e5. And here I calculated some different lines, like for example, knight to c4, I calculated, and then knight to e7, capture, bishop e3, something like this. But the other option is that I capture, and then I play with something like that. And this knight, it looks quite good, but on the other hand, he just blocks the bishop a bit. And he can also, depends on the situation, get kicked back with b5. And the other move that I calculated is what happened in the game. He just captured. I recaptured, capture, and now I have two options. For me it was quite clear that I capture with the pawn. So now after bishop c4 we make a couple of natural moves like knight develop, castle, and then he played a4 in order to gain some space on the queen side, and as well to play bishop a3 and to attack the rook like that. And here I played queen to e7 with these various ideas, and after rook e1 I decided to make a waiting move with c6. The idea is that later he won't have this square, and in some lines that I can play queen to c7 and queen b6, something like that. He played then b4, and now I made the move that I calculated one move before actually as well, which is knight to h5. The idea is to bring the knight to f4 and with queen to g5 to attack his king. So now I played knight f1, and now I played knight f4, and what I calculated before, of course, is what happens if he captures. And then I'm also quite happy with my position because I have the bishop pair, and this bishop suddenly became really strong. So I wasn't really afraid that he captures. But that would have been an option to consider for sure for white. He decided for a different approach, which is bishop a3. So now he threats b5, and to win some material. The downside of this line is he let the knight live here, and I play rook d8 in order to conquer the open file, and after queen b3 I decided with queen to g5 to sacrifice the pawn here, because I thought in some variations he needs to play bishop f1 back, and when he captures on f7 he just will lose some time. Of course he will win the pawn, but then my attack has some speed. And he captured, so king h8, and now here's some different ideas marked. He played knight to g3, which is correct, because if he plays this move it's a bit critical because of this one, and the threat is quite obvious. We just want to capture and then capture here. And that's why, yeah, knight to g3 is correct. But now my attack really starts. H5. The idea is to play h4 and then deliver here a checkmate. So he responded with bishop c1. And after h4, I missed that he can just play bishop c4. Because I win a piece, but the problem is it's only temporarily. And then, yeah, he will win the knight back, and then he also restore the king's safety, because then the knight as an attacker will be gone. But here I found a different approach to continue play. Like, it's not like I lost material or something. I just didn't calculate that he can just leave it like that in this position. I played queen to f6, and I marked here the idea. Let's say if he captures, he can play e5 in order to block me from capturing c3. But then here, yeah, we will become an interesting position. Because I have some pressure here, I also have the bishop pair, but my pawns are a bit further advanced, so which can be a downside later. But he played knight to f1, and now I play h3. Capturing is never an idea because it just weakens everything on the king side. So the question is, do you leave it like that or do you play g3? By g3, you have to be careful after, let's say, knight to d3. Capture, I have suddenly king f3 with this checkmate ideas. And in some lines, it's not really easy to defend. That's why, yeah, g3 creates a hole in white's position. White decided to play knight to e3. Now I captured. He has to capture with the knight because otherwise it will be a checkmate. So capturing, knight to h3, check, king h1, only move. And now here the big question was, which I took some time to think about, is it good that I captured the pawn or not? Because let's say if I capture with the queen, it can backfire quite easily after bishop e3. And then I have to go somewhere with the queen, let's say queen f6. And then after rook f1, white is suddenly back in the game completely. And now he uses this file and his pieces are better developed and so on and so on. That's why I decided to let this pawn on the board and instead bringing another attacker to the attack, which is bishop g4. The idea is to play bishop f3 and yeah, and then like, let's say queen h4 and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, now it's a bit tough for white how to respond. He played bishop e2, which is a mistake. But let's say if you play bishop e3, I just have this move. And now it's not quite clear how white can continue, because this square is blocked for the open file. Here he is pinned, and I also have this threat here of attacking the knight once more. So the attack is going a bit by itself now. Bishop e2 speeded up a bit the progress for me, because now I can capture, and after king g1 I can go back, king h1 only move, and now I simply win a piece with bishop e2, because if the rook captures we have a checkmate in one move. So he's not allowed to recapture, and that's why he played queen a2, bishop f3, going back, rook f1, rook d1, and now of course I just want to trade off some pieces. That's why I will go a bit faster forward. Queen to e2, capture, and now, yeah, this knight is just terrible. This knight blocks that, so it's an eternal pin. And here we just, played a bit more moves. He didn't want it to resign. The idea is to bring the rook on the second rank in order to win the knight. And yeah, after this moves, I played rook to d1, rook to d2. And here, he still made one more move, but in this case I found a wonderful checkmate, knight to f2, so he let me play that. And it was first checkmate since a long time, actually, and it was really a beauty. So one important victory for me and the team. And with a wonderful checkmate, I wish you a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy and enjoy your own chess games.